I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
Let's watch the video.
I'm just a person by myself. Nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
So what do you think of that? Put it in the comments. We got a Virginia high school runner. She strikes her competition in the head with a baton during the race. Apparently gives her a concussion. I'm not surprised. In fact, I don't believe most men are surprised because this apology is not an apology. I mean, it wasn't even an apology. She's just basically saying, I know my intentions. I know it looks bad on video. I know my intentions. You know, accountability is allergic to some people. Oftentimes, it's women, and it starts when they're children, and it manifests in their relationships as adults. This is how it starts, and this is what I talk about oftentimes. Fortunately, we're giving a glimpse into the day-to-day life of what happens oftentimes, because here's the thing. Her parents are not pushing her to even apologize. There's a lot of women. I've been looking at the comments on a lot of posts that's been putting this video up over the last couple of days. There's a lot of women who are running interference for her. And then there's a lot of women who are coming at her who I know probably don't take accountability themselves. But the most striking thing is the fact that her parents, after watching the video, even if it was not intentional, is not making her daughter apologize to the woman, to the young girl rather, she hit in the head with a baton. Even when your child makes a mistake and hurts somebody else, you have them apologize. Think about it. On a playground, a couple kids playing around, your son suddenly pops somebody in the head, kicks him in the head coming down the slide. It was an accident. Do you just simply say, oh, well, it was an accident. My son doesn't need to apologize. Oh, well, you know, we're not going to say sorry for something he didn't mean to do. Or do you say, hey, be careful next time. Now go apologize to that little boy for kicking him in the head when you came down the slide. You should have been more careful or more mindful of what you're doing. That's what I'm talking about here. It's rooted in childhood as to why so many women have issues with taking accountability to things that they've done clearly on video that they acknowledge, but because they didn't mean to do it, because it wasn't intentional as far as she's concerned. By the way, there's no way on planet Earth that she didn't mean to hit that girl in the head. Watch the video. She clocked her in the head, man. Let me show you guys the video one more time. Look at this. Here she comes in there. And right in the head. Come on. Right in the head. You telling me that wasn't intentional? Oh, and by the way, she didn't show her any love after she hit her. She didn't go and say, oh my God, I'm sorry. You know how you would do? You know, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe that happened. Are you okay? She didn't do none of that. She didn't even speak to the girl from what I understand. It's not in the clip, but if you watch the longer clip, you'll see. Crazy. Let's read the article on this one. The IC Norcom track star speaks out after hitting opponent in the head with a baton. Portsmouth, Virginia. Alayla Everett, a track star and senior at IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth, Virginia, is speaking out about the viral footage showing her strike an opponent in the head with her baton. Everett said there was more to the video clip than meets the eye. She did a full interview with them. She says, everybody has feelings, so you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking of my mental. It's not, see how it turns it back on her? Does that sound familiar to anybody? Everybody has feelings, so you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking about me and my mental, is what Everett said. Are you guys thinking about me? I know I hit her in the head with the baton from behind while she was running and beating me and running in front of me. But you guys aren't thinking about my mental. Everett would have never imagined her trip to the VHSL Class 3 State Indoor Championships on Tuesday would take a drastic turn. It's like they are going off of one angle. How many angles does Everett believe that we need to watch? Should we have watched that clip from behind? Maybe a different camera angle of you raising your hand and smacking her in the back of her head? And then the girl falling, tumbling off the track and falling and grabbing the back of her head after she got hit? Well, how many different angles should we watch? She says, after a couple times of hitting her, my baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance when I pumped my arms again. She got hit, Everett said. Everett said the incident was accidental. Bullshit. Now that's insulting. It's insulting. I didn't have to see a first video, second, or 10th video. I know 100% that she would never do that to anybody. Zeketa Cost, Everett's mother, said. Now we got the parents saying, oh, I don't need to see no videos. Not my baby. Not my child. Not my baby. She wouldn't do that on purpose. I know 100% she would never do that to nobody, but she did do that to somebody. That's the thing about it. And this is where I'm talking about good parenting and bad parenting and the contrast between the two. It's not a matter of if she meant to do that to anybody. She did it. But because mama and its daughter. Okay, here's the thing. Imagine the genders are reversed. Imagine this was a boy. Like, we don't see these videos when it's young men. You won't see a video where a young man, senior in high school, let's say he's 17 years old, is running and he raises his hand and smacks his competitor in the back of the head with his baton. And then after that, he not only does not apologize, but his mom or his dad comes and say, yeah, my son wouldn't mean to do that. So, I don't need to see no video. My son, that wouldn't happen. It would not happen in no place. What we would see is the coach would get in his ass. His grandfather would get in his ass. His uncle would get in his ass. If he had an older brother, he'd get in his ass. If he had some big OGs in the neighborhood, they'd get in his ass, right? And then his parents would get in his ass eventually. What's up, Snuggles? That's what would happen. What you doing, bro? It doesn't matter. That's how it is. See, from boyhood, young boys are taught accountability. This is what I'm talking about, the stark contrast between young men and young women that manifest into adulthood. And this is where a lot of young women are going to have to repair some of the things that they were exposed to as childs because it's manifesting into their relationships as adults. The IC Norcom high school team was ultimately disqualified. I mean, this disqualified the entire team. And you don't have to apologize? You ruined it for all the other students, and you're not going to say sorry? Which Vincent Pugh, or Pug, former citywide athletic director at Portsmouth Public Schools, found questionable. He said a play-by-play showed that Turner was running closely to Everett. If a person comes up on the outside, they got to be a full stride ahead of me before they can cut in front of me, Pug said. The Tucker spoke with WSLS in Roanoke, and said they are seeking an apology from Everett. Mind you, from what I understand, they have not filed any charges against the young girl, which, as far as I'm concerned, they clearly can. But they're asking for, can you say sorry for hitting me in the head? I don't give a damn if you meant to do it. Can you say, hey, you know, I didn't mean to step on your toes. I ain't mean to hit you in the head with my baton. You're not going, it doesn't seem right, they say, that this would happen. And now we have to go to a city 3 hours away that everyone hates our guts already, Genova Everett said. Her father said, Genoa Everett, that's her dad. Her father says it doesn't seem right that this would happen, and now we have to go to a city 3 hours away that everyone hates our guts already. You think, bruh? But herein lies, we talk about weak men. You see, it's not just fatherless homes that we have issues with. It's homes where we have a father there, but he ain't a father. He's just a dad. Or he's a weak, soft man with no backbone, no spine. And that gynocracy I talked about the other night is kicked in full effect. And he ain't running no household. He's so weak that, oh, nothing could go wrong with his baby girl. That gives her that princess treatment. And so you could see it right here. The girl continues, they are assuming my character, calling me ghetto and racial slurs, death threats, all of this off a 9-second video. Now, that I don't agree with. Now, these are children, you know, people out there doing death threats, fuck you. I'm not with that whatsoever. These are children, ladies and gentlemen. There's no death threats. The baton is only 2 ounces. It's about as heavy as a piece of paper. If you ever held a baton or ran track, you know how light they are. They have to be light, so the runners can almost not feel them and drag them down during their runs. Listen, the death threats, that's ridiculous. I condone anybody that feels that any harm should be done to this girl for what has happened. This is a behavioral issue. Does not warrant any threats like that. That's not cool. She's getting death threats. Who? By who? From who? I hate people don't even play like that. Colleen Tucker told WSLS she was diagnosed with a concussion and a possible fractured skull. Yikes. Mike McCall, director of communications for Virginia High School League, released a statement directly to 10 on your side. We don't comment on individuals or disciplinary actions. I can tell you that the actions taken by the meet director were appropriate and correct. We are still reviewing the situation, but that's all I have for you right now. It's a serious issue, especially when it involves the safety of athletes in competitions. Additionally, Lauren Nolasco, Portsmouth Public Schools Director of Communications, provided the following statement. The division immediately reported the incidents to the Virginia High School League, which is still investigating. We are cooperating with the VHSL in its work. The division will support and follow the ruling that comes from the VHSL upon its completed investigation. What do we learn here? Listen, in competition, emotions get high, adrenaline gets flowing, things happen. I get it. Things happen in competition. And some people who may have been raised wrong may, and has never been told or had their behavior corrected at home may lash out during competition. I understand that she hit her in the head and that's a different issue that should be addressed. I'm concerned about the follow-up. The fact that she hit her is one whole issue that needs to be addressed in and of itself. I'm talking about the follow-up, ladies and gentlemen. When you have the fact that she's making excuses. Excuses. I'm sick of excuses. And it's coming from her mom and dad. There's no way that my sons would be running track and hit somebody in the back of the head and they don't catch it from me when they get home. No way I wouldn't publicly apologize. There's no way that they wouldn't go on an apology tour and take whatever punishment comes with that. If they get disqualified, if they get kicked off the track meet or off the track team, whatever. What up, BZ? Fine. But there's no way they gonna sit up and make excuses and then I'm gonna sit up there talking about, yeah, it's like people watching the 9-second video and everybody hates me when I come back to the city 3 hours late, and got my girl saying, yeah, not my daughter. She wouldn't do nothing like that. Not my kid. No, we don't play those games. We take accountability. We are responsible parents over here. And we're raising and rearing responsible adults who take accountability. Girl dads, don't be that soft, wishy-washy, no backbone type of father, man. All you're doing is setting your daughter up for failure. But you know what this is? When this girl makes a mistake at a job and she gets fired, she's not gonna understand why. When she makes a mistake at work and she does something that she's not supposed to do, she's not gonna know how to handle it. When she gets with a man, if she gets that far, and he lets her know about her behavior, there's no correction. How can you correct it? How can you correct somebody's behavior if they're so used to not being corrected? When it starts at home, that's why. Don't let this be you, ladies and gentlemen. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, join the Army, the SR Army, where we take lives to the next level. Membership is free for life for everybody that joins right now. I'm Sergeant Shan. I hope you learned something. I'm just trying to save you some heartache, headache, money, and time. And you, my friends, are dismissed.